understanding yourself. You may never fully understand yourself, but you can gain deep insight into what your real desires, dreams, motivation, needs, goals, and aspirations actually are. Establishing the right routines, the number one thing that defines your life and where it will lead, is what you do consistently. And then cultivating inspiration and motivation. If you're not inspired, you won't have direction. If you're not motivated, you won't get going. Welcome to the 3 dissections of how you should draft your New Year 2020 resolutions. Listen in. We're coming to the close of 2019. I don't know how many hours are left, but I'm sure about that we are 48 hours. We're less than 48 hours away from the end of the year. So, ever wondered why some of us make goals but never achieve them? I know why. I know why. Because most of us, while listing down our resolutions, there are 3 important ingredients that I've put down today that we often miss out to list. These are things that are supposed to be leading on our goals before we that take the positions 1, 2, 3, according to me, and it's going to be very helpful to you as well. So the very first one is commitment. If you make a goal and you don't commit to it, it's as good as ABC. It's just not going to make any sense. I made a very silly ass resolution last year. Mine was not to step on a weighing scale, but I did, and I was alarmed. I'm glad that I broke that commitment. I'm really glad that I did break that, because that was really reckless. We need to make resolutions that are going to be in line with our mental health, IQ, EQ, and health-wise. So mine that I made was very reckless, and I'm glad I walked away from it. So we need to be committed to our goals that we make before the goals that are going to come in at number 4 to, I don't know what number, maybe 4 to 100, 4 to 10, whatever goal that is going to come after these 3 ingredients that I'm going to talk about needs to be committed to. Actually, whatever that comes after number 1 needs to be committed to. It's including number 1, actually. Everything in the list has to be committed to. You need to be committed to commitment. Coming to number 2 is increase of emotional intelligence. This is a subject that I dug into last year, and I realized there are very many of us that have not cultivated our emotional intelligence, and that is why we are, much as our IQ is very high, probably shooting as high as 100 or 105, or as high as Albert Einstein, we're failing to work on our emotional intelligence, and this is as far as understanding our emotions, relating with other people, and understanding their own emotions. This all comes with dealing with stress as well, and knowing how to react in particular situations. Then number 3 is the most important. Is it the most important? All of them are important. Number 3 is very extensive. I got some information from Philip Hagspiel, and that number 3 is living life with intention. Now you may wonder what this could be, and listen. You really need to be very attentive and listen good. To live life with intention, or proactively, is to become the leading agent of your life. Even if it sounds good, sitting around and just letting life happen is a bad idea, unless of course things will just miraculously go your way, which is, well, kind of dumb to expect. You can be in control without controlling everything, but living life with intention might mean three things. One, to determine the trajectory you are putting yourself onto. Two, to be mindful of how you are spending your time and thus not wasting it on dumb shit. Three, to create an environment in which you can strive and prosper and consistently grow as a person. Right? I think you're now getting to understand what living life with intention means. So living life with intention does not really mean trying to control everything around you. Because really, to think that you can control everything around you would be, I'm going to be a little harsh, would be stupid because it's impossible. All right. So it instead means we're dealing with shit properly. It does not mean to rationally reflect on everything you're doing. It instead means being mindful about and fully immersing into your experiences. It also means designing your life such that you will get more of those experiences that are actually worth it and less of those that are just superficial bullshit. I'm going to say this again because it's very crucial. It means designing your life such that you will get more of those experiences that are actually worth it and less of those that are just superficial bullshit. Now, the big question is, how do I live more intentionally? So this is going to be broken down into 5 big pillars, and the number one pillar that carries your ability to live life in an intentional way is understanding the world. Understanding the world is very important, because if you do have a kind of accurate model of how the world and the people in it function, if you do not understand a kind of accurate model of how the world and the people in it function, you will get fucked, like really fucked. You're going to be fucked by smart marketing people selling you stuff that you don't even need. You're going to be fucked by the food industry making you fat and sick. You're going to be fucked by organization making you believe what they want. You're going to be fucked by social media and television stealing your time while making you dull, numb, and ignorant. Fucked by news convincing you that the world is worse than it is, making you cynical and depressed. I swear I've been depressed by Gatali Konfufu. I had to separate myself from TV for a long time. I've really experienced this part of television and media. I stopped reading news. I stopped avoiding a couple of things. I see news from, different platforms, but I don't sit down to watch news anymore because I live with my spirit low. So I'm not saying you shouldn't watch news, but you need to find those things that fulfill your soul. So if you don't want to be sucked in by all different agents around you, then you better understand the various incentives making people, organizations, institutes to do what they do. You must get to know, or better yet, understand how you can be manipulated. That is how you get to understand the world. Because anyone is very much susceptible to manipulation if they don't understand how the world runs. You better understand the fundamental principles that constitute our living together, as well as what actually is and isn't true. Because you do have to make an effort to find that one out. Right? So we have covered number 1, and that is understanding the world. That's the first pillar in living life intentionally. So coming up to number 2 is understanding yourself. Right? Understanding yourself. Remember, we talked about it in emotional intelligence. It's still coming in here in living life with intention. So I think we're understanding how emotional intelligence is very important. You may never fully understand yourself, but you can gain deep insight into what your real desires, dreams, motivations, needs, goals, aspirations, and many other things that you actually are. You can understand a lot about what makes you happy and what doesn't. If you don't understand yourself in that way, you will be nothing but a pawn in the hands of the agents around you. We've talked about these agents in understanding the world. So if you don't understand yourself, you're very much going to be manipulated by the agents around you. We've covered those agents. If you've forgotten the agents that were listed in understanding the world, you're going to look at the people, organization, and the different institutes. So gain a good understanding of what to chase and what to leave behind, what to focus on and what to ignore, what to seek and what to avoid. Obtaining this will get you what you want. Umesikia? Muravyumva. So you have to understand the world as the number one big pillar. And the second big pillar is understanding yourself, right? We're going on to number 3. And number 3 includes establishing the right routines. Yeah. The number one thing that defines your life and where it will lead is what you do consistently. Once you establish routines, it isn't tough to keep them anymore. And this allows you to keep adding more routines and habits over time. Good habits. We're not talking about bad habits. We're looking at what is going to help us develop personally. So we need to build routines that and habits over time, and that will not be hard as long as we have established them. You may want to build routines that will make you keep fit and healthy, both physically and mentally. Going back to the first 2 pillars, if you want to learn about the world, consider reading. If you want to understand yourself, you may consider meditating or journaling or any other thing. If you want to build a routine-like behaviors that make your life more enjoyable and full of positive experiences, be open to different perspectives, be kind to others, and be full of positive vibes. Be open to different kinds of lives, different people, different ideas. Just, you need to learn. That is number 3. Wow, we're going so fast. Number 1 was understanding the world. Number 2, understanding yourself. Number 3 is establishing the right routines. If you aren't really sure of the routines you can take up, you can rewind the audio and listen into the examples I've given. Probably you can build onto that. We're going on to number 4. Number 4 is cultivating inspiration and motivation. Yeah. If you're not inspired, you won't have direction. If you're not motivated, you won't get going. Expose yourself to mental stimulation, to ideas, to thoughts, to novel perspectives, to interesting people and stories, even good arguments. I think now I think this is going really chronologically because every other pillar that I get into connects to the ones that I came from before it. So we looked at this in routines, and this is still coming into cultivating inspirations and motivation. So what keeps you from regularly exposing yourself to different people, from visiting new places, from watching others do cool stuff, from listening to people talk about what inspires them, from reading about how others see the world, is nothing other than laziness. Laziness is the only thing that is keeping you from regularly exposing yourself to different people, visiting new places, or listening to people talk about different things that inspire them or different topics that you may not have an idea about. So read about and watch or listen to random subjects, listen to motivational speakers. This has helped me so much. It really helped me from my depressive time, and I had to listen to TD Jakes. There are some sermons that he had, 2 of them, and one was about don't let pain. I don't remember the title. I really need to recheck, but they helped me through probably 8 months. I used to play them every single morning, and then in the night I'll listen to Lisa Nichols. I love those 2. They really helped me out, and they got me back on my 2 firm feet. So you need to listen to motivation speakers. Choose them wisely. Not everyone is to be listened to, because some of them make the ladder so high for us to climb, but you need to get someone that is going to help you take one step at a time. So you can also travel to new places, have a new experience of life, and see the other life outside your normal kind of setting. Go to events, engage in discussions with different people, right? Cultivating your exposure to triggers that can mentally and emotionally stimulate you is a powerful life hack. Let me repeat this. Cultivating your exposure to triggers that can mentally and emotionally stimulate you is a powerful life hack. Let us go back. Do I have to go back to the other 4? Okay, we have 4 that we have listed so far, and the number one thing was understanding the world. Number 2, understanding yourself. Number 3 was establishing routines. Number 4 was cultivating inspiration and motivation. So we're getting on to number 5, creating a supportive environment. A moment of silence. We need to create a supportive environment. If you don't create one and control, if you don't create and control your environment will create and control you. And that's a proverb from Benjamin Hardy. Our environments influence what we do on a daily basis. The fact is that we are too weak to resist the structures of triggers and messages around us. We are too weak to constantly resist the temptations of immediate pleasures, meaningless sensationalism, and shallow entertainment. The more you surround yourself with negative, cynical, foolish, and lazy people, the more you'll become a negative, cynical, stupid, and lazy person. So you need to choose your people, the people that you surround yourself with. And so you need to really get people that are above you and learn from them. Above you in a good way, not in a bad way. You need to help yourself and create a supportive environment. Much of what our environment consists is designed to make you believe in superficial ideas, to crave new stuff, with this constant online, rather social media, everyone is showing off what they have, and now you really want to get it, but you can't actually afford it, sadly, or you've not even saved enough for any kind of asset to purchase, but you're really hungry to match the social media heights. So much of what our environment consists is designed to make you believe in superficial ideas, crave new stuff, lust for certain foods, opt for quick entertainment, and focus on things that don't even matter at all. So you need to understand how, number 1, influential your environment is, and number 2, acknowledge that your default environment is full of triggers that come in all shapes and that have been designed for one purpose only: to manipulate you. Right? Your environment is your manipulator, so whatever is going to manipulate you, you need to choose wisely. Then consciously construct and shape your own environment such that you are less being acted upon and instead can act in a way that allows you to get more of what you want in life. That is also understanding yourself. Everything that comes with these pillars is directly connected to the other pillars that came in through before. So the examples of how to control your environment is: choose which media to consume. Of course, regular TV is rarely the answer to that. What to have and not have, that is also important. We looked at it in knowing ourselves and understanding the world. Which people to seek and to avoid in your life. This is hard and sometimes painful, but you cannot climb the metaphorical ladder with everyone. Some people are just going to suck life out of us. Some people are going to project their fears on us. But if we have goals, we need to cut out some people for us to be to have a right trajectory. Then the secret lies in creating your own positive and supportive default environment of stimuli and people, and then trying to get missed stimuli and people, and then trying to get missed only a little here and there. This is a long one. I hope this changed your life already. Okay, maybe not. That's really fast. Maybe not. But it's your turn to make those ideas and perspectives and see how they can apply to your life. It may be hard and annoying, but it is worth every drop of your sweat. With this being said, I wish you a happy 2020, and I hope that you make very good goal resolutions. These are the three most that you need to look at and break them down. Then I think it's from those that you can actually make three of the goals and then break them down into your resolutions. Happy New Year.